Most men believe that if a woman starts to drift, the solution is more effort, more messages, more reassurance, more presence. That belief feels logical. And it's exactly why it fails, because nothing kills desire faster than predictability. If this feels uncomfortable to hear, good. That discomfort is recognition. I'm Amelia, and what I'm about to explain isn't about tricks, lines, or performance. It's about something far more subtle: the psychology of absence. Men who are always available are easy to understand, and what's easy to understand is easy to replace. But men who know when to step back, who don't rush to fill silence, who don't explain themselves, those men create something rare: tension. And tension is where missing begins. Now, here's the part most people never articulate clearly. A woman can't miss you if you never leave her mental space. You don't give her room to wonder. You don't give her room to imagine. You don't give her room to feel. So let's start with the first principle, the one that quietly rearranges everything. Number one, don't contact her. This isn't about playing games. It's about breaking a pattern. Women are used to being pursued subtly or aggressively. Messages that check in, reactions to stories, quick replies meant to prove interest. But no one can miss what's always there. When you stop initiating, when you don't reach out, when you allow distance to exist without explaining it, something psychological happens. Her mind fills the gap for you. She starts wondering what you're doing, who you're with, why you're quiet. And the imagination is always more powerful than reality. At first, she tells herself it doesn't matter. Then she checks her phone again. Then she starts building stories. And eventually, those stories involve other women. Jealousy doesn't begin with competition. It begins with uncertainty. By not contacting her, you're communicating something without words. I have a life that doesn't pause for your attention. That message lands deeper than any text ever could. Here's the part most men misunderstand. No contact works not because it's cold, but because it feels like rejection. And rejection, romantic rejection especially, activates the same parts of the brain tied to craving, motivation, and addiction. When a woman senses that a man is fully capable of living well without her, she realizes something unsettling. She isn't a requirement, she's an option. And paradoxically, that realization makes her want him more. This is where weak men panic. They rush to explain. They rush to fix the silence. But men who understand this psychology do something else. They stay calm. They stay grounded. They let the absence do the work. Because silence, when it's intentional, isn't empty. It's loud. And once you understand why silence works, the next question becomes dangerous in the best way. What does she see when she goes looking for you? The proof. She wasn't supposed to see. Silence creates curiosity, but curiosity needs fuel. Here's what most men never realize. When a woman starts missing you, she doesn't come to you first. She goes looking, and the first place she looks is where your life leaves traces. Social media. Not because she's obsessed, because uncertainty demands resolution. Men who disappear without evidence of life trigger one thought: he's probably not doing much. And that assumption quietly kills intrigue, because in her mind, value is tied to movement. So the second principle is simple but uncomfortable for men who've been passive for too long. Number two, show her you're still living your life. Not explaining, not announcing, showing. When she checks your profile and sees nothing, no updates, no movement, no signals, her mind fills in the blank against you. People subconsciously believe that if it didn't show up somewhere, it didn't really happen. But when she sees a moment, a photo, a setting, a smile that isn't directed at her, something shifts. Not jealousy yet, something quieter: loss. She realizes she wasn't there. And women don't just want a man, they want access to his life. That's why even a simple photo works. It doesn't have to be flashy, it doesn't have to scream success. It just has to say, I'm moving forward. Men with quiet power don't post for validation. They post as a side effect of living. A dinner out, a weekend moment, a win you didn't announce, just allowed to be seen. You're not saying, look at me. You're saying, this is happening whether you're watching or not. And here's the deeper psychological layer most people miss. When she sees you progressing without her, She doesn't just miss you, she misses the version of herself that could have been part of that world. That's why this works, even if she wasn't that interested before, because now there's a subtle fear forming that she misjudged you, that she overlooked something real. And the moment a woman starts questioning her own decision, you've already shifted the dynamic. But here's where most men ruin it. They respond too fast to the first sign she noticed, like a reaction, a story view. And that brings us to the next test. Because when she realizes you've gone quiet, she doesn't confront you. She tests you. And if you don't recognize the bait, you hand your power right back. The test you fail without realizing it. Once silence starts working, once she notices you're not reaching out, once she feels that shift in control, she doesn't ask what's happening. She tests you. And this is where most men give everything back without even noticing. Number 3, don't give in to the attention bait. The attention bait never looks obvious. That's why it works. A carefully chosen photo. A story posted at the exact time you're usually online. A caption that feels familiar, ambiguous, almost personal, not direct enough to call out, but specific enough to be felt. And if you're honest with yourself, you felt this pull before. That urge to acknowledge, to react, to let her know you still see her. Men who react immediately believe they're being mature or polite or emotionally intelligent. But psychologically, here's what actually happens. The moment you like the picture, the moment you view the story and respond, you answer the question she was asking herself. Does he still notice me? And the second she gets that answer, the tension collapses because attention is validation and validation is closure. She wasn't posting for the world. She was posting for you. Men with quiet power understand something subtle. Not reacting is still a response, a louder one. When she sees likes from everyone except you, when she refreshes and your name isn't there, her brain doesn't relax. It spirals. Did he see it? Does he care? Why isn't he reacting like before? And now the roles reverse. She's waiting, she's watching, she's checking. This is where emotional control matters most. Not because ignoring her is cruel, but because reacting too soon tells her you were never really gone. You were just paused. And paused men don't get missed. They get managed. Here's the uncomfortable truth most men avoid. If your attention is easy to trigger, it's easy to replace. Men who don't chase reactions, who don't reward indirect bids for validation, signal something powerful without words. My attention is deliberate. And once she senses that, she stops testing quietly. She reaches out directly. Which brings us to the most dangerous moment of all. Because when she finally messages you, everything inside you wants to undo the silence. And how you respond in that moment determines whether she respects you or feels safe dismissing you again. The moment you're most likely to lose control, this is the point where everything collapses for most men. Not because they did anything wrong before, but because they react the way they've always reacted. She finally reaches out, a simple message, casual, almost like nothing happened. And suddenly, your nervous system lights up. Relief, validation, that quiet thought. It worked. This is the moment where eagerness becomes visible, and visible eagerness is fatal. Number 4, don't be eager, be vague. Here's what women are extremely sensitive to, even if they can't consciously explain it. Emotional velocity, how fast you lean in, how quickly your tone shifts, how much energy you give. Immediately, when you respond with excitement, long messages, fast replies, you unknowingly tell her something. You were on my mind the entire time. And even if that's human, even if it's understandable, it breaks the illusion. In her mind, a picture forms. You waiting, you checking your phone, you hoping. That image removes mystery. And mystery is what made her reach out in the first place. Men who stay grounded do something different. They respond calmly, briefly, without emotional spikes, not cold, not rude, just measured. A simple, "Hey, how are you?" is more powerful than a paragraph explaining how busy you've been because it communicates stability. It says, "My life didn't stop. You're welcome here, but you're not the center." This isn't about manipulation, it's about emotional pacing. Men who rush their emotions forward create imbalance. Men who stay neutral create pull. And here's the deeper psychological shift happening beneath the surface. When she senses you're not overwhelmed by her return, she begins to invest more. She asks questions. She probes. She tries to regain the emotional ground she lost because now she's unsure again. And uncertainty, when paired with safety, is intoxicating. This is where weak men overcorrect. They try to lock it down, clarify intentions, reassure. Men with quiet power do the opposite. They let things breathe. They don't explain silence. They don't justify distance. They don't rush connection, because the man who doesn't chase clarity becomes clarity. And once you hold that position, something else becomes possible. Something that changes how she sees you entirely. Not just as a man she misses, but as a man she could lose. When she realizes you have options, there's a moment, quiet, internal, almost invisible, when a woman stops asking where she stands and starts asking who else might be standing there instead. That moment changes everything. Number 5, create jealousy without explaining anything. This is where most men get it wrong. They think jealousy has to be loud, obvious, provocative. It doesn't. In fact, obvious jealousy tactics feel desperate, and desperation repels. Men with quiet power create jealousy indirectly by letting reality be visible. A photo with friends, a tagged moment, a woman in the background who isn't introduced, explained, or highlighted. Nothing dramatic, nothing forced, just presence. And here's what happens in her mind when she sees it. She notices the woman before she notices anything else. She clicks the tag, she scrolls, she compares. Not because she's insecure, but because uncertainty demands resolution. You didn't say who she is. You didn't clarify the context. You didn't rush to reassure. So her imagination fills the gap. And imagination always leans toward threat. This is the part men struggle to accept. You don't have to do anything with another woman. You only have to be seen as someone who could. Even something as simple as posting a celebrity crush or sharing a moment where feminine energy exists near you creates a subtle, psychological signal. I'm not waiting. And that signal lands deeper than words ever could, because desire doesn't grow from comfort. It grows from perceived competition. Here's the deeper layer most people miss. When she sees that other women exist around you, she doesn't just feel jealousy, she feels urgency, a quiet pressure that says, if I don't move, someone else will. That pressure shifts her behavior. She becomes warmer, more curious, more available. Not because you demanded it, but because her perception of your value increased. Men who hide their options look scarce. Men who live openly look abundant. And abundance doesn't chase, it chooses. But here's where this turns psychological. Jealousy alone isn't enough to make someone miss you deeply. For that, you need something more intimate, something that follows her when you're not there, a trigger she can't turn off. The name that follows her home. At this point, something important has already happened. You're no longer just a man she thinks about sometimes. You're a presence that appears without permission. And now we anchor that presence. Number 6, give her a nickname. This sounds simple, almost harmless. That's why it works so well. A nickname isn't just a word. It's a psychological tag. When you give a woman a nickname that's only yours, not generic, not performative, you're doing something most men never do intentionally. You're attaching yourself to her internal world. Here's what matters. The nickname has to mean something to her. Not impressive, not clever for outsiders. Personal, something tied to her favorite food, her favorite color, a detail she once mentioned casually, not realizing it was being stored. Men who pay attention notice patterns instead of chasing reactions. And when you give her that nickname, something subtle locks into place. Every time she hears it, even from someone else, your presence activates. That's not romance, that's associative memory. Her brain links a feeling, a sound, a moment directly back to you. And unlike messages or photos, she can't mute that. She can't unfollow it. It appears in grocery stores, in conversations, in passing thoughts. This is why you don't choose something so rare she'll never encounter it again. It needs to live in the world so that when it shows up, you show up quietly, automatically. Here's the deeper psychological shift happening now. You're no longer someone she misses because you're gone. You're someone she misses because you're embedded. And embedded men don't need to chase attention. They're already there. But there's one final layer that separates men she remembers from men she emotionally reorients around. It has nothing to do with attraction on the surface. It has to do with leadership. And once you understand this last principle, you don't just make a woman miss you, you change how she experiences men altogether. By now, you've probably noticed something. None of this required chasing. None of this required convincing. None of this required explaining yourself. That's intentional because the final principle isn't about attraction on the surface. It's about position. Number 7, teach her something new. Not in a loud way, not in a lecture, quietly. Women are drawn deeply, instinctively to men who expand their world, not because they need help, but because teaching signals something ancient and powerful: leadership. When you introduce her to a new idea, a new way of thinking, a skill, a perspective she didn't have before, you're not just giving information, you're creating impact. Men who can teach without ego, who guide without forcing, who share knowledge without needing credit, are perceived as confident, capable, and grounded. And here's the part most people never articulate. She doesn't just remember what you taught her, she remembers how she felt becoming more around you. That feeling doesn't fade because growth creates gratitude, and gratitude creates attachment. This is why men who mentor without trying to impress leave a psychological imprint that lasts. You're no longer just a man she was talking to. You're a man who altered her internal map. At this stage, missing you isn't a choice. It's automatic. Because now when you're gone, she feels the absence of your silence, your movement, your presence, your perspective. And that absence doesn't feel empty. It feels like something valuable stepped out of reach. This is the identity shift. You stop being a man who seeks attention. You become a man whose absence creates reflection. Men who understand this don't try to be unforgettable. They simply move differently. And once you move this way, you're no longer trying to make a woman miss you. You're giving her the space to realize why she already does.